you look at the website of the World Economic Forum, you can read that the Great Reset is an initiative created to manage the consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. On their website, they argued that the COVID-19 pandemic has caused political, economical, and social disruptions around the world, which in turn are exposing flaws in our current systems. They view the current time as a unique window of opportunity to shape the recovery of the pandemic. The Great Reset has been pushed by the World Economic Forum for years, and they see the COVID pandemic as a great opportunity to make this agenda a reality. Never let a good crisis go to waste, so to speak. The World Economic Forum is an organization mainly known for their annual meetings in Davos, Switzerland. There they discuss the state of the world, desired future scenarios, and what direction to move in terms of government policies and business strategies. The Great Reset can be broken down into the following main components: climate change action, stakeholder capitalism, and the fourth industrial revolution. One of the most important parts of the Great Reset is combating climate change. The World Economic Forum is calling for governments to introduce carbon pricing and to eliminate fossil fuel subsidies. Additional discussions include lifestyle changes surrounding transportation, air travel, food and heating, as well as introducing individual carbon footprint tracking. The idea behind stakeholder capitalism is to motivate businesses to take a bigger role in solving social problems rather than trying to achieve higher profit and stock prices. A way to measure how well a company is performing in its social involvement could be by using so-called ESG metrics. ESG stands for Environmental, Social and Governance, and is being introduced to measure how ethical a company is. Companies can claim these ESG metrics by displaying desired behaviors, and investors can choose to put money into companies with high ESG performance. Critics, however, argue that big businesses have no place in solving social issues and that they will take advantage of their expanded social role to extract more profit, as a company's ultimate goal is to make more money. Additionally, the ESG metric has been criticized for being a form of social credit system designed to influence behavior, control society, and push certain ideologies, and that eventually these metrics could also be applied to individuals. The World Economic Forum believes that we are now entering the era of the fourth industrial revolution. This revolution will be driven by interconnecting a large number of devices and applying smart automation. In 2016, an article was written for the World Economic Forum named "Welcome to 2030, I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better." In this article, the author imagines how new emerging technologies could be used to change our lives in the very near future of 2030. In the presented scenario, the emergence of new technologies to sectors such as communication, energy, transportation, and accommodation would result in greater access and decreased cost, and could ultimately lead to the complete elimination of all cost. Anything that had once been a product is now freely available as a service, obviating any need for personal ownership of goods or real estate. The idea of ended private ownership has further been imagined by the World Economic Forum in a video published in 2016 named 8 Predictions of the World in 2030. In this video, they're making a prediction which states that you will own nothing and you will be happy. Professor Yuval Noah Harari discusses some dystopian scenarios about the fourth industrial revolution in his presentation, How to Survive the 21st Century, held at the World Economic Forum meeting of 2020. He explains how our biological knowledge and computing power will increase in the coming century, and how there will be massive amounts of data collected on people. He says that if you know enough biology and have enough computing power and data, you can hack my body, my brain, and my life. You can understand me better than I understand myself. You can know my personality type, my political views, my sexual preferences, my mental weaknesses, my deepest fears and hopes. You know more about me than I know about myself, and you can do this not just to me, but to everyone. He explains that a system that understands us better than we understand ourselves can predict our feelings, decisions, can manipulate our feelings and decisions, and can ultimately make decisions for us. This will lead to corporations and governments being able to systematically hack all the people. Humans will rely on AI to make more and more decisions for us, and authority will shift from humans to algorithms. Now we humans are used to thinking about life as a drama of decision making. What will be the meaning of human life when most decisions are taken by algorithms? We don't even have philosophical models to understand such an existence. In his presentation, he makes an example of how large data collection and human hacking can lead to the rise of digital dictatorships that will monitor everyone at all times. He warns about dictatorships where everybody has to wear a biometric bracelet which constantly monitors your blood pressure, your heart rate, your brain activity 24 hours a day. You will listen to a speech on the radio by the great leader and they know what you actually feel. You can clap your hands and smile, but if you're angry, they will know. He also talks about how the rise of automation and AI can separate normal people even more from the elite. He says that automation will soon eliminate millions upon millions of jobs, and while new jobs will certainly be created, it is unclear whether people will be able to learn the necessary new skills fast enough. Whereas in the past, humans had to struggle against exploitation, in the 21st century, the real big struggle would be against irrelevance. Those who failed in the struggle against irrelevance would constitute a new useless class. Useless from the viewpoint of the economic and political system. And this useless class will be separated by an ever-growing gap from the ever more powerful elite. As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, governments around the world are implementing large-scale spending programs for COVID relief. For example, the European Commission has unveiled $826 billion recovery fund plan. The World Economic Forum sees these spending programs as an opportunity to get funding for the implementation of the Great Reset agenda. But many are being skeptical about the Great Reset, questioning if the world's richest and most powerful people at the World Economic Forum truly have the best interest of common people in mind rather than their own. The Transnational Institute has the following to say about the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum likes to project itself as a concerned global actor, distressed by growing inequality and concerned to build a progressive globalization. However, when its own governance structures are dominated by the richest oligarchs and corporate executives obsessed with minimizing regulations for corporate profits, it raises questions about whose interests they really serve. The real concern is not that they get a chance to meet and strategize, but rather that they advance global agendas that largely serve their own economic interests and disproportionately impacts the poor with no democratic accountability. There is evidence that discussions at the World Economic Forum have stimulated the negotiation of new free trade agreements that have led to job losses and massive rise of corporate litigations against states. The World Economic Forum has made it clear that it sees itself as a model of how the world should be governed, actively advocating for a shift from multilateral governance based on state-to-state decision-making to a multi-stakeholder governance in which corporations have a much more dominant role.